almost done with our inaugural show, and like a lot of first times, it was a lot of fun, but a bit awkward. We lost a guest halfway through the segment, but managed to bring her back for a quick goodbye. I didn't get to respond to the accusations against Miley, and we said the word vagina 8 times, a personal best, and that's coming from a woman who's been in the vagina monologues twice. But it feels like there's still something missing, so I wrote an open letter because we all know that what the world needs is more open letters. Dear parents of horny teens, my deepest sympathies. Homecoming is creeping up, and that means high school dance season is starting. Sorry, there is nothing you can do to stop it. I get why you dread this time of year. The average American loses their virginity at 17. 17. So if you've got a 17-year-old, statistically speaking, you think his or her virginity is constantly in danger. You have lots to worry about: sexting, naked selfies, Snapchat. If you don't know what any of these things are, please don't Google it, especially you moms, just please don't. But is there really a connection between sex and dancing? If Hollywood has taught us anything, definitely. I mean, we all know the real reason Jennifer Grey had the time of her life, that blissful summer with Patrick Swayze. And one movie even created an entire plot line around the dangers of dancing. Footloose. Remember Footloose? The 1984 classic where a boy from the wrong side of the tracks falls for the minister's rebel daughter and convinces the town to repeal its ban on dancing. They don't make movies like that anymore, though Channing Tatum is a step up from Kevin Bacon. When I saw the previews for the 2012 remake of Footloose, my first reaction was, this is unbelievable. And not in the way that me having my own show is unbelievable. It's unbelievable in that I don't buy into the plot line. There's no way a school nowadays would ban dancing, right? Well, call it a compromise. A school in Washington is doing the next best thing, banning, quote, any dancing that is sexual in nature or dancing which can be construed as vulgar or provocative. Now, if you are like me, you want to know exactly what's considered vulgar and provocative. Don't worry, River Ridge High School doesn't mess around. Students can't lie on the ground, touch the ground, bend over 45 degrees. Both feet need to remain on the ground, but your hands should never touch the ground. And just to make sure you don't get too creative, you cannot dance in a way that looks like you're having sex. Our team went line by line analyzing what they can and cannot do in the unlikely event they went to River Ridge High. All your classics are off the table. The worm, you're all over the ground. The electric slide, your feet are off the ground. The Macarena, too much shaking. Even the chicken dance. All you're really left with is Michelle Obama's mom dancing. River Ridge isn't alone. Several high schools in Maryland have distributed similar dance contracts. One even specifically banned twerking, as if twerking is the gateway drug to sex. Schools do have a certain responsibility to set a standard for what constitutes appropriate behavior in a school setting. But one school rep blamed the kids, saying, quote, it's no secret that the styles of dancing are different than they were 5 or 10 years ago. Well, it's not the first time the whippersnappers have shocked the older generation. In the 1950s, Elvis earned his title as Elvis the Pelvis with his provocative hip-thrusting dance moves. The twist was the it dance of the 1960s, probably because it was banned from a lot of schools. The Times Journal even called it an erotically suggestive dance. The twist, really? We had Travolta in the 70s, Michael Jackson and MC Hammer in the 80s, and in my day, we scrubbed the ground, tootsie rolled, and dropped it like it's hot. We all know that you're not worried about the dancing per se, it's what the dancing could lead to. It's worth noting that at least one high school in Maryland is requiring that these dance contracts be signed not only by students, but by their parents too. So why not take the opportunity to have that important conversation with your kids? Because nothing makes kids want to have sex less than talking about it with their parents. XOXO, A. This weekend, Miss Miley Cyrus turned 21, and last night we were reminded that she's just a kid at heart. How else would you explain this?
We kissed, I fell under your spell of love. No one could deny.
Yep, that was weird, even for Miley. The AMA showcased a ton of young talent, including another star that's been making just as many headlines as Miley. Dear Justin Bieber, I'm just writing you this note to let you know that while you sing an angelic falsetto and while you may have a girl's haircut, you benefit greatly from not actually being a girl. You and Miley Cyrus have many things in common. You both stole our hearts as babyface swooners. You both captured headlines with your G-rated romances and subsequent breakups. Neither of you look like you once did, and yet you have started to look like one another. Miley lit up on stage. You and Miley hinted at your suspected drug use on SNL.
This is so weird. I think I'm hallucinating. I must have smoked too much cigarettes.
I also heard he got busted for smoking weed, and he's really sorry about it, and that people make mistakes, and he's never gonna do it again.
Yep, it's seems like you two couldn't be more similar, yet the reactions to your choices couldn't be more different. Yes, Miley showed some skin in that teddy bear Baby Bjorn leotard, but you haven't worn a shirt in over a year, and yet no one seems to care. At the tender age of 16, innocent as a rose, you did a photo shoot with Kim Kardashian, inspired by The Graduate. You know, the iconic film about a much younger guy who has sex with an older woman. In the shoot, Kim was 30. You were 16. Nothing creepy about that. Nothing to worry about. Yet at this year's VMAs, Miley, who was 20 years old, twerked in proximity to Robin Thicke, and everyone lost their minds.
I was Hannah Montana's mother. I don't approve. I just sort of want to know who's advising her and why it's necessary. I feel like it's a bit desperate.
I think there's a couple of things going on here. First of all, I think that she's clearly an extremely disturbed young woman. It's wrong what happened. That was disgusting. It was really bad for our children.
Yes, her tongue made me uncomfortable too, but she was 20, an adult, and while everyone was going bonkers over Miley, no one seemed to care about your walking out of a brothel in Rio de Janeiro where you reportedly had sex with prostitutes in, quote, all the positions. The story got plastered over the internets, but it's just another outrageous story to catalog your party boy phase. Meanwhile, Sinead O'Connor wrote Miley an open letter saying of music execs, quote, they will prostitute you for all you're worth and cleverly make you think it's what you wanted. So to recap, Miley being metaphorically prostituted? Bad. Bieber literally frequenting prostitutes? Nothing to get bent out of shape about. Justin, you made party guests sign a $3 million confidentiality agreement whereby they agree not to tweet, text, phone, Facebook, record, write, or in any other manner spill the beans on what went on inside. And we're worried about Miley? I get it. It's your house. You can do what you want to. But what's going on behind those closed doors, Justin? Is it something I need to see, to believe? Dude, listen, you seem to be having the time of your life. You still owe Germany 10 grand for leaving your pet monkey at the airport. You showed up 2 hours late for a concert because you were playing video games. And you did this.
We swagger, man. You know, this is just a better spot to pitch.
Bro. We the wild kids.
That's a cooler spot to pitch. You know, you'll forever remember that.
But somehow I don't think we'll remember that idiotic expression of broness, because at the end of the day, it's just bros being bros. Probably won't hurt your brand. What can I say? Consider yourself lucky to be on the right side of such an egregious double standard. XOXO, A.